ಈ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಭವನಕ್ಕೆ ಜೀವ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು NSS ಇಂದ, ಅವರನ್ನೇ ಹೊರಗಿಟ್ಟು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂತು ನಮಗೆ. ಆದರೂ ನೀವಿದ್ರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಾಳ್ಮೆ ಭಾಳ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪ್ಲರಿ. ಆ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಅದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಥರ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಒಂದೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಿರಿಯರು ಬಂದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ದಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಸ್. ಬಂದಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕೋಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್. All elders has arrived and the great speakers also. Yesterday everybody has appreciated. Even media coverage is also extremely good. They covered our Chief Minister's speech so well in all papers, and even Tushar Gandhi's speech also was highlighted, and all great persons' speech also highlighted yesterday. They came all the way from different parts of our country on the request, on the actually advice of the Central Gandhi Smarak Nidhi. They responded properly. I am grateful to all. Rajesh is also arriving very soon. He just entered the hall. We will start, but in the beginning, I request Srimati Pratima B. Ora, Gandhi Ashram Ahmedabad. She wants to sing a song. I request her to sing a song.
Namaskar सबको. So I'm actually from Sabarmati Ashram and recently I shifted to Bangalore. तो मुझे भी अवसर मिला यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट करने का और बहुत अच्छा रहा कल का भी सेशन. सो सर्वधर्म प्रार्थना जो गांधी जी हर रोज़ शाम को और सुबह में करते थे, उसका एक पार्ट है. यूनिवर्सल ब्रदरहुड के ऊपर एक गीत है, मैत्री भावनु पवित्र झरनु. सो आई वांट टू सिंग दैट. ठीक है. मैत्री भावनु पवित्र झरनु मुझ हैया मां भया करे. शुभ थाओ आ सकळ विश्वनु एवी भावना नित्य रहे. गुणति भरेला गुणी जन देखी हयु मारू नृत्य करे. ए संतोना चरण कमल मा मुझे
ಶುಭೋದಯ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ತಲುಪ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ಮಾರಕ ನಿಧಿ 77ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಸಂಸ್ಕರಣೆಗಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ಈ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. 2ನೇ ದಿನದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ, ಗಾಂಧಿವಾದಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ಮಾರಕ ನಿಧಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸದಸ್ಯರಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಈ ದಿನದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ. Welcome to International Seminar to commemorate 75th year of Gandhi Smaraknidhi. I welcome each one of you here for the sessions for day 2. We are starting this day with a very interesting session on Gandhian values and the revolutionary power of technology. Is a synthesis possible? It's a question that we need to ask. And today we have with us some prominent speakers who are capable of answering this question and helping us enlighten ourselves about Gandhian values and the revolutionary power of technology. Today we have with us Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni, columnist and author of The Music of the Spinning Wheel. We also have an online presence of Mr. Sam Pitroda, internationally respected telecom inventor, information and communication technologist. I request all the speakers to come on stage. We also have Mr. Karl Manamat, technologist and advocate of public domain, public.resource.org. He's also the co-founder of Servants of Knowledge Initiative, with which we are digitizing various books here in Gandhi Bhavan. We also have Mr. Kolegala Sharma, senior science communicator and former chief scientist in CSIR, Central Food Technology Research Institute, Mysore. Gandhi values and revolutionary power of technology. Synthesis possible. So, ಗಾಂಧಿಯ ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅದರ ಸಾಮ್ಯತೆ, ಅದರ ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೇ? ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ನಾವೇ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಈ ಒಂದು 21ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಉದ್ದೇಶವೇ 21ನೇ ಶತಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಸುಧೀಂದ್ರ ಕುಲಕರ್ಣಿ, ಕಾಲಮ್ನಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಥರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ವೀಲ್. Sudhindra Kulkarni is a prominent Indian political activist, writer, and public intellectual known for his deep commitment to secularism and Gandhian principles. A former aide to Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Kulkarni has been an influential voice in Indian politics, advocating for inclusive governance and interfaith harmony. He played a key role in policy formulation and communication strategies during his tenure in the Prime Minister's office. He is a strong proponent of dialogue between India and Pakistan, often championing the cause of peace and reconciliation between the two nations. An author of several books and a regular columnist, one of his well-known books is Music of Spinning Wheel, Mahatma Gandhi's Manifesto for the Internet Age. This book reflects on how Gandhi's principles can be applied in the contemporary digital world, advocating a synthesis of traditional value with modern technology to create a more equitable and just society. I request Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni to give a speech. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, 1 minute, please. Dear friends, our seminar was a grand success yesterday because of all your cooperation and wishes. I just had to mention a special note about this seminar. Our great Sudhindra Kulkarni is a son of Karnataka. He is from native of Belagaum. He is the main person for our all seminar concept, and he has bring a lot of international speakers, especially Ban Ki-moon. He was a Secretary General, former Secretary General, and it is very difficult to get him. Because of Sudhindra Kulkarni, you could get Ban Ki-moon's speech. Like that only, all Akbar Ahmad, he is a contemporary Islamic literature leader, I say. Sudhindra Kulkarni has introduced Akbar Ahmad to us, and he has given a very good speech. And one Mr. Chang Kyuang Shang from China. He is also a friend of Sudhindra Kulkarni. He could make his recorded speech for us. And like that, Sam Pitroda and Felix Machado, these are all their good friends. Because of his connection, international connection, this seminar was this standard. I personally congratulate and my sincere thanks from all Karnataka Gandhi Smarak Nidhi and all our Gandhi fraternity. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ರಾಹಿಜಿ, Dr. Uday Krishna ji, Vishnu Kumar ji, all the other dignitaries, and my very, very dear students and children. At the outset, I convey my best wishes to Gandhi Smarak Nidhi for having completed 75 years of dedication, commitment to Gandhian values. My heartfelt thanks, friends, to the organizers of this seminar, Dr. Uday Krishna ji, Vishnu Kumar ji, others, for inviting me to participate in it. As we all know, the overall theme of this seminar is Mahatma Gandhi for the 21st century. The values that Gandhiji stood for actually go well beyond the 21st century. They are timeless. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಅವರ ಜನ್ಮ ಅದು 19ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವರು ಈ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಿಂದ ಹೋದದ್ದು 20ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು, ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರ ಮೂಲ್ಯಗಳು ಅವು ಕಾಲಾತೀತ. Truth, non-violence, universal brotherhood, universal justice, mutual cooperation, mutual compassion and love. These are as old as human species. But Gandhiji himself has written that truth and non-violence, satya, ahimsa, are as old as hills. They're timeless. And these will last as long as the human species lasts, and perhaps beyond, because ours is not the last species in the evolution of life. We should not be under the illusion that today's human beings, this is the pinnacle, the last point of evolution of human species. There is something far better, far superior, that's going to succeed us. And even then, Gandhiji's values will be relevant, and they'll continue to guide the next species that will follow human species. The theme of this session, friends, is Gandhian values and the revolutionary power of technology. Is a synthesis possible? ನಾವು ಈ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇದು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ತವರೂರು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಈ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಇದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ. My thoughts on this subject are based on my book, which was mentioned in the introduction, Music of the Spinning Wheel, Mahatma Gandhi's Manifesto for the Internet Age. I should explain briefly why I wrote this book. There is a widespread misconception that Gandhiji was opposed to science, technology, industrialization, and modernity in general. This perception of Gandhiji stems largely from the fact that his personality and his philosophy are associated with the spinning wheel. ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಸಿದರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಚಿತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣೆದುರಿಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಅವರ ಚರಕ. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಂಜೀವ್ ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನೂಲಿನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದವರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಚರಕ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಆಧುನಿಕ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ? ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಬಿ ರೆಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಏಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ? This is the question that several people ask. We all know what Winston Churchill, the arrogant leader of the empire, said about Gandhiji. He called him a half-naked fakir, ardha nagna fakir. What he meant was, how can this half-naked fakir belonging to the Middle Ages claim to be leading the independence movement of a nation which the British regarded as the crown of their empire? Friends, being a student of technology myself, a serious question confronted me. How can a man, howsoever great in his own time, be relevant in our technological age if he was opposed to modern science and technology? Our age, as we all know, is uniquely defined by the mighty advances in science and technology. And if Gandhiji was indeed opposed to modern science and technology, it means that in some crucial ways, he belongs to the past and not to the present, and much less to the future of humanity. In other words, in this age of the internet, in the age of revolutionary advances in artificial intelligence, Gandhiji with his spinning wheel, Gandhiji, who advocated revival of village industries, is certainly anachronistic, indisputably outdated. But is this really true? How can Gandhiji be relevant to our age as an apostle of peace, non-violence and religious harmony, and yet be irrelevant on the parameter of science and technology which distinguishes our age from all the previous eras in history? This is the question that confronted me. The more I studied this subject, the more I got convinced that Gandhiji was far from being an opponent of science, technology, and modernity. Indeed, my second discovery in my study of Gandhiji led me to another interesting, even amazing understanding, that the philosophy of the spinning wheel has something close to the revolutionary power of the internet. You might wonder, what kinship can there possibly be between the modest spinning wheel, which occupies the primitive end of the technological spectrum, and the internet, which occupies the most advanced technological offering of the human mind? So before I proceed further with my talk, friends, I would like to show you a short film that encapsulates the main theme of my book. It's only 6 minutes. May I request our friends there to show it to us, please, and if possible, kindly dim the lights. Spinning wheel. Dear friends, as the film describes, Gandhiji looked at every question in life from a deeply spiritual and scientific perspective, both spiritual perspective and scientific perspective. He was a saintly man, but he had deep faith in the power of science, technology, and machinery. Where he differed from others was this revolutionary power of modern science, modern machinery, modern technology. It should be used not for violence, not for waging wars, not for exploitation of the weak by strong, or of weak countries by strong countries, not for promoting greed and unnecessary wants, and not for colonization and exploitation of Mother Nature. Rather, Gandhiji believed that science and technology should be used to fulfill the basic needs of all human beings on earth. They should be used to eradicate poverty, hunger, and disease. They should be used to reduce human drudgery. They should be used to spread knowledge of both the external world and also of the internal world of the human heart, mind, and soul. Indeed, Gandhiji had a romantic attachment to all those discoveries and inventions of science and technology which had the potential to serve humanity. You might have noticed a very interesting line in the film where he says, Gandhiji says, that everything in life can be converted into science and romance. Science and romance. The use of the word romance here is deliberate. For Gandhiji, romance meant love of humanity, love of anything and everything that brought happiness to humanity. In a sense, Gandhiji was a romantic and spiritually guided scientist. He redefined the meaning of romance and love to embrace love for everybody on earth, not just human beings, but also all living beings on earth. For him, God, truth, non-violence, and love meant one and the same thing. Gandhiji believed that everything in human life should be guided by the same truth or the same set of fundamental ethical and harmony-creating principles, be it politics, economics, business, education, relations between nations and religious communities, and also relations between man and nature. In practical terms, service of truth and non-violence meant first and foremost service of the poor and the needy, care and compassion and cooperation. He encapsulated this value, this ideal in just two words: Sarvodaya, Antyodaya. Sarvodaya ಎಲ್ಲರ ಉದಯ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಆದರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅಂತ್ಯೋದಯ, ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಿಮ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ಉದಯ ಮೊದಲಾಗಬೇಕು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಉಪಯೋಗವಾಗಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಅವರ ವಿಚಾರ. And Gandhiji conducted amazing scientific experiments in the communes or ashrams that he established. Two in South Africa, where he spent 20 transformative years of his life between 1894 and 1915, and two later in India. His communes, his ashrams, were indeed R&D centers for research and development, where he researched into both matters of man's outer world and the mysteries of man's inner world. I can say without any fear of being contradicted that Gandhiji is the only political leader in modern times who attached least importance to politics Friends, he was the leader of our freedom movement, which was a political movement, but he attached the least importance to politics. He spent more time turning his spinning wheel and popularizing khadi, which he projected as a non-violent weapon against colonial exploitation. He spent more time nursing the sick. He spent more time conducting experiments in health and nature cure. He spent more time exhorting the Indian people to remove the scourge of untouchability. He was a great social reformer. He spent more time conducting experiments in children's education. Nayi Talim. He spent more time championing the cause of women's empowerment, since he believed that the law of the future evolution of the human species is not survival of the fittest. The law of the future evolution of human life is not survival of the fittest, but survival of the kindest. It was his firm conviction that the womanly qualities of care, compassion, nurturing, and motherly love alone would save mankind and take it to a higher level of evolution. In his own words, I quote, "If non-violence is the law of our being, the future is with women." Unquote. And Gandhiji spent more time preaching and practicing inter-religious harmony. And ultimately, he became a martyr to the dark forces which did not believe in inter-religious harmony. The Godse. Friends, there is also no other leader in modern history of mankind who philosophically linked all these ideals: decolonization of nations, end of exploitation, end to wars and violence, elimination of poverty, sustainable or green development, women's empowerment, development of science and technology, social reform, religious harmony, and man's inner purification and transformation. He linked all these to one supreme ideal, and that ideal is pursuit of truth and non-violence. For Gandhiji, Satyagraha was not only a non-violent method of struggle for India's independence. ಅದು ಕೇವಲ ಭಾರತದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸಿದ ಅದು ವಿಧಾನವಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ಯಾಗ್ರಹ ಅಂದರೆ. Satyagraha was a call for establishing a new human civilization based on universal brotherhood, cooperation, and a new ethics of life based on honesty, trust, truthfulness. And Gandhiji wanted that the world should adopt such science and technology and machinery that would promote these age-old ethical values for creating a new human civilization. Friends, it is my belief that science and technology are shaping the world in such a way that the future of humanity will be more Gandhian than it is today. ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. There are many people today who somehow lack confidence and faith in the power of science and technology. I appeal to all Gandhians that we should have faith in the power of science and technology, because this is the greatest force of transformation that mankind has discovered and invented. We are soon going to enter, or perhaps we have already entered, the era of artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is going to transform the world in ways that we cannot imagine. I have with me a book. It is by Ray Kurzweil, whose quote you saw in the film. And Ray Kurzweil is one of the world's foremost technological futurists. And he says about Gandhiji that Gandhi is a prophet for the age of communication revolution. This is someone who is today considered the foremost authority on artificial intelligence. And Ray Kurzweil says that today we have entered an era when we merge with AI, human bodies are going to merge with artificial intelligence. In the coming decades, the intelligence, the non-biological intelligence, that is the intelligence of machines, will exceed the intelligence of the human brain million times. And artificial intelligence, nanotechnology are going to realize the ideals of Gandhiji. Decentralization, conservation of material resources, care for nature, all these are going to become possible provided we use the power of science and technology with wisdom, with sadbuddhi, with sanmati. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, and this is especially addressed to our dear children here, because they are going to enter a world full of possibilities. As Gandhiji himself said, and it's truly a prophetic statement. Gandhiji has written, "We are constantly being astonished by the amazing discoveries in the field of violence. We are constantly being astonished at the amazing discovery in the field of violence." But then he predicted, "But I maintain that far more undreamt of and seemingly impossible discoveries will be made in the field of non-violence." So the future belongs to non-violence. The future belongs to love. The future belongs to compassion. The future belongs to non-cooperation. So let's leave such a wonderful new future, bright future for our children, for children of India, for the children of the entire world. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Jagat.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. 21ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಂಧಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಚರಕದಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದರು, ಅದು ಇಂದಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ದಾರಿದೀಪವಾಗಬಲ್ಲದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ವೀಲ್ ಚಿತ್ರಣದ ಮೂಲಕವೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಸುಧೀಂದ್ರ ಕುಲಕರ್ಣಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ the way you actually explained how Gandhi values can actually help our students and the next generation take the message forward. So now we have a pre-recorded video of Mr. Sam Pitroda, an internationally renowned telecom inventor and information and communication technologist. I'll give a quick brief on his bio and then we'll have the video. Sam Pitroda is a globally recognized inventor, entrepreneur, and technology visionary who has made significant contributions to Indian telecommunications and IT sectors. Often referred to as the father of Indian information technology revolution, Pitroda played a pivotal role in transforming India's telecommunication landscape in the 1980s and 1990s. As the advisor to the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Pitroda spearheaded the establishment of the Center of Development of Telematics, CDOT, and the creation of India's first indigenous digital switching systems. His efforts significantly expanded rural telephony, bridging the communication gap in the country. He served as the chairman for National Knowledge Commission, advising the Indian government on various issues related to education, innovation, and the application of technology to improve governance. In addition to his contributions to India, Pitroda has been active on global stage, advocating for technology-driven development and innovation. He continues to be a thought leader in areas such as digital inclusion, sustainable development, and democratization of information. ಈ ಇಂದಿನ ದಿನ ಭಾರತದ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟೆಲಿಫೋನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪಿಟ್ರೋಡಾ ಅವರ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಟೆಲಿಕಾಂ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು IT ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೊಡುಗೆಯನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡೆಡ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ತಮ್ಮ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರು ಗಾಂಧಿಯ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಏಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅವರ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Greetings from Chicago. It is indeed a special privilege and honor for me to be here with you to say a few words on Gandhi and technology. To me, Gandhi was a great role model, inspiration, especially at a time when I went to school. I was born in 1942 in British Raj. In the boarding school I went to was totally Gandhian. I believe Gandhi is more relevant today than ever before in the history. Of course, Gandhi means many things to many people. He was the father of a nation. He was a leader, fakir. He was an idea. He was a concept. And he was a phenomenon. He was a decolonizer of the British Raj. He promoted non-violence, but commanded no armies, held no government positions, and led the biggest independence movement in the history, which ultimately resulted in decolonizing the entire world. He was a great communicator. To me, simplicity, sense of sacrifice, service to people, unconditional love for all, truth and absolute truth, single standard of conduct in public and private life really defined Gandhi in many ways. Gandhi was not against technology. But Gandhi was against technology that was misused, like everything else. Gandhi was for technology benefiting people at the bottom of the economic pyramid. Technology that could not divide people, but unite people. Technology that could create opportunities for a large number of people in rural areas. I'm confident that Gandhiji would have been excited about internet, social media, because it is all about openness, accessibility, connectivity, networking, democratization, decentralization, and ultimately social transformation and economic opportunities. Gandhi believed in decentralization. Small is beautiful. Local talent, local capabilities, local needs, an opportunity to create local jobs. Unfortunately, very few people really go into deeper understanding of Gandhi and his ways and means to really bring development to a large number of people. I have studied Gandhi a little bit. I believe his thoughts and actions related to environment, Dandi March, salt, song like Vaishnava Janto, Kenere Kaye, his prayers, his charkha, his dhoti, all were symbols of communicating a great message. His life was his message, loud and clear. When I started my work on telecom, I took inspiration from Gandhi. The digital technology must reach all the villages. This was in early 1980s when I met Mrs. Indira Gandhi and talked about transforming India through telecom and IT, which was quite a new concept in those days. Mrs. Gandhi understood it, supported me. Then Rajiv Gandhi gave me political will to implement. But the idea then was exactly opposite to Western concept. Western world wanted big switches, big manufacturing, increasing telephone density, and Gandhian thought said, it is all about connecting villages, smaller exchanges, rural communication, distributed architecture, indigenous talent, local manufacturing, local ancillary industries, and building human capacity. What we started then, when we had only 2 million telephones in India, has now mushroomed into a country of connected billion. We have 1.5 billion phones, and we generate $200 billion worth of software service export every year, year after year. It was possible only because we took Gandhian approach. If we had taken the Western approach of importing telephone exchanges, importing software for it, we would be where we are. Very few people understand the contribution of Gandhian thought in our approach to telecom development, IT development. To me, Gandhi comes at 3 different levels. One, at a personal level, people level, which to me emphasize truth, trust, love, courage, and conviction. Gandhi always talked about courage. Courage was the key to Gandhian activity on sacrifice, simplicity. Then at a planet level, Gandhi meant environment, needs of the people, bottom-up development, and dedicating your life to the service. At a platform level, Gandhi was a true believer in democracy, human rights, freedom, inclusion, diversity, non-violence. And Gandhi would have used social media very effectively to promote all of these. It is unfortunate that few people are using social media to malign Gandhi with misinformation. I feel sorry for all of them. I wish they would take a little more time to understand the power of this Indian mind, committed to larger public good. If world had followed Gandhi in 1940s while restructuring the global equation with World Bank, IMF, WTO, WHO, UN, and focused on Gandhian ideas, I tell you, world would be very different today. Gandhian ideas would have included decentralization, sustainability, non-violence. These are very powerful things. Gandhi was a man of technology. Gandhi was a man of ideas and innovations. And I'm delighted that we are remembering Gandhi once again at this event. We need millions and millions of people all over the world to think about Gandhi, promote Gandhi, and make Gandhi relevant today. In the day of technology, Gandhi is more relevant, especially in social media. So I wish you all the best. I want to compliment you for taking this initiative, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
ಶಿಕಾಗೋದಿಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗಾಂಧಿಯ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತಲುಪಿಸಿದ ಸ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪಿಟ್ರೋಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ಮಾರಕ ನಿಧಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ, he gave a very interesting insight into how Gandhi would have loved the technology that we have today. At the same time, he also objected how we are misusing the technology in this internet era. He also spoke about decentralization. He also spoke about social transformation. So, from yesterday, we have been hearing how technology has been transforming ourselves, how Gandhian values can actually make a difference in our lives. And we are continuing this journey with our next speaker, Mr. Karl Malamuth. I'm very happy to have started the initiative Servants of Knowledge, which is digitizing a lot of books here in Gandhi Bhavan. Karl Malamuth is an American technologist, author, and public domain advocate known for his foundation public.resource.org, headquartered in California. He is also a co-founder of the Servants of Knowledge here in India. He is a pioneering advocate to open access to government information. He has dedicated his career to making public domain materials, particularly legal documents and government publications, freely accessible to anyone. Malamuth's efforts have included scanning and releasing vast amount of government data, legal codes and court rulings, challenging the barriers that restrict public access to this information. His work has been instrumental in promoting transparency and accountability in government, earning him widespread recognition as a leader in the open access movement. I welcome you, sir, for your speech.
Thank you very much. My friend Om Shiva Prakash, my friend and colleague and co-founder of the Servants of Knowledge. I wish to thank the Karnataka Gandhi Smarka Nidhi, the Gandhi Smarka Nidhi New Delhi, for inviting me. I especially want to thank Dr. Uday Krishna, Mr. Vishu Kumar, Honorary Secretary Narendra, for giving the Servants of Knowledge such a nice home here at the Gandhi Bhavan. It's been a real pleasure and an honor to partake of the activities. My friend and colleague Kuleja Sharma, science educator par excellence, Mr. Kulkarni, public servant and Gandhian, and of course our spinners for this wonderful technology demo that they are giving. So Sam's comments were inspiring, but let me tell you a little backstory that he didn't mention. He said he asked to see Indira Gandhi. He wanted to put a telephone in every village. It was pretty presumptuous to ask to see the Prime Minister. He wasn't connected, he wasn't a politician or anything. And so the Prime Minister's office finally came back and said he could have 10 minutes. And Sam said, no, I must have 1 hour. And the secretary was a little bit taken aback and went back to the Prime Minister's office, the PMO, and he said he'd check. And a month later they called, and they said he could have the full hour. And that was real chutzpah, but that's Sam Petroda. He doesn't take no for an answer. Sam talked about how the internet was a decentralized architecture, it was Gandhian. I want to expand on that to talk about how there were actually two internets in the early days, and there are two internets today. I started working on computers in the late 1960s when I was a little boy. My father used to bring me to the laboratory to help him boot up the computers. In those days, you had to flip switches before the computers would wake up and say hello. And by the late 1970s, it was clear that something was happening with both communications and computers. They were converging. They were becoming the same thing. I dropped out of my PhD program in economics to work for the Computing Center at Indiana University. I went to Washington, D.C., and I helped change how computers were used at the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve, our central bank. And in the 1980s, I wrote a series of books about computer networks. By about 1985, those of us in the field knew there was going to be a global internet. We had no idea how big it was going to be, and we were all shocked and amazed at how big it ended up being today. But back then, only those of us working in the field had the hubris to believe this was actually happening. But it was happening. In those days, all communications was the province of centralized telecommunications companies. We called them telcos. In the US, it was AT&T, and then it was broken up into a series of regional telcos, but it was still, you had one choice. And in India, it was ITI, India Telephone Industries. Those big companies and big government thought they were going to build the internet. It was what I would call the Raj internet, or perhaps an East India Company internet, or perhaps a bit of both, but it wasn't your internet. The telcos owned all the equipment. They told you what you could connect to the telephone network. It was totally top-down, totally centralized. And this was the case all over the world. The telcos banded together with governments like the European Commission and the US Department of Defense, and they dreamed up an internet they called the Open Systems Interconnection, or OSI. It was coordinated by the International Standards Organization. Everybody spent billions of dollars on the Raj Internet. Tens of thousands of people worked on it. In their vision, the telcos would operate the entire internet, and they tell you exactly what you could do. It was a black box. They'd have a menu of services you could purchase, like text messaging or email, and you paid per message and per email. All of them would cost money. You bought your internet a la carte, and it was not cheap. This was not an all-you-can-eat buffet. They called this Raj internet a so-called smart network, by which they meant all the smarts were in the middle. The telco was smart, you were dumb. To understand how the net worked, you had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to buy the standards, and the net was encumbered by all sorts of patents. There was another internet, though. Meanwhile, a few hundred people all over the world working in research labs and universities and small companies, a few for government, many of them, like me, self-employed consultants, were banding together in an informal group called the Internet Engineering Task Force. Our network was totally decentralized. To us, the telcos were dumb. The smarts were all on the edges in the computers. All the telco was supposed to do was push bits from one place to another. No fancy services that you bought or anything like that. Our internet was based on open source software and open protocols and no patents. Any computer could be a server. Anybody could invent a new service. Like my friend Tim Berners-Lee, who created the World Wide Web. This was a Gandhian internet. Gandhi said the future of India was in the villages, not the corporate and government centers like Mumbai and Delhi. We believed the future of the internet was in the laptops and desktops and phones, not vested in the corporate towers of the telcos. Gokhale told Gandhi to go to the villages. We went to the desktops. We weren't supposed to win. The Raj internet was destined to be the one and only internet, but it's gone today. We won that war. The internet is, in fact, a Gandhian net. So the title of this session asks if a synthesis is possible between, on the one hand, Gandhian values, and on the other hand, the revolutionary power of technology. And many people assume on the one hand you have Gandhi, and on the other hand, you have technology and science. And I think this is totally wrong. Gandhi has always believed in the revolutionary power of technology. The question was, to what aims did you practice the revolution? Was it to enrich the rich, to enrich yourself, to cement the power of the central government, to enforce communities by misinformation, to keep down the poor? He knows that. Or would technology be used to bring up the people, to level the playing field, to all of no matter what our means? He embraced that kind of technology. For him, technology was not a magic bullet. The future was in the people. It wasn't in some magic thing. It isn't AI or singularities that will save the world. It is people and how they use the technology that will make the difference. Now, a perfect illustration of why characterizing Gandhi as anti-science is totally wrong comes from my friend Ram Guha, who writes about Gandhi's views on medicine. Many think that Gandhi was against scientific medicine and only believed in natural cures and herbal medicines. And that may have been true when he was younger, but Gandhi was always open to learn. And he learned about Western medicine, and by 1919, he believed enough that he asked for surgery to cure his piles and was so impressed that he recommended it to anybody else who had that issue. In 1921, Gandhi opened a medical college in Delhi, the Tibia College. He paid tribute to the spirit of research that fires the modern scientist. But then he issued a stern warning. He said, "My quarrel is not against that spirit. My complaint is against the direction that spirit has taken. It has chiefly concerned itself with the exploration of laws and methods conducing to the merely material advancement of its clientele." One of my favorite Gandhi stories is a few years later. In 1925 in Kolkata, he was asked to lay the foundation for a new Ayurvedic university, the Ashtanga Ayurveda Vidyalaya. All the dignitaries present spoke about the bright future and the mission of this new enterprise. What a great occasion it was to be there. And then it came Gandhi's turn to speak. He trashed the joint. He criticized the whole enterprise. He started out talking about medicine in general, expressed his usual reticence about medicine, what a difficult patient he was. But then he focused in specifically on Ayurvedic medicine. He called the Ayurvedic doctors arrogant. They lacked humility. They promised that they could cure all diseases. He said the industry was selling humbug medicines only to make money, that magazines were full of advertisements that catered to the basest passions of humanity only to make money. He said the advertisements were alluring and no doubt profitable, but were cutting deep into the vitals of the suffering humanity. He totally trashed the joint. The committee asked him to withdraw his comments, and he refused. He said what he believed, and he was sticking with it. He believed in Ayurveda, properly applied. He didn't like how it was being applied. Now, I take two lessons from this. The first, of course, was that if you invited Gandhiji to speak, you should be prepared for him to speak his mind and not assume he would sing your praises. He spoke truth to power. The other, of course, is that Gandhi, I believe, would have been a huge user of technology today. And as Mr. Kulkarni and Sampatroda both said, if Gandhi, for example, were asked by Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, the owner of Twitter, to speak at Twitter, I think the same thing would happen. Gandhi would, with a twinkle in his eye, say, "Of course, I'd be happy to speak." And then he would totally trash the joint. I don't know what Gandhi would say, but I'll tell you what I would say about Twitter. It's a cesspool of misinformation. It's a haven for extremists. It is untransparent, biased, manipulated. It has become the sewer of social media, has the morals and dedication to public service of the East India Company. We went from the Raj Internet, governments were going to control your internet. We now have the East India Company internet. From Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and Elon Musk and Twitter, you are the product to manipulate and exploit. You are there to make profits for their companies located in the West. You are there to be manipulated in elections, to be manipulated with misinformation and disinformation and bias. This is the Raj Internet. There is a Raj Internet, right, the Sarkar. There is the East India Company Internet, the Bazaar. There is a third path, Samaj, civil society. This is Rohini Nilekani's wonderful three-part explanation of the world. So in the Gandhian Internet, There's a world out there of open source and open protocol and open science and open access to knowledge. And the question is not technology or Gandhi. This is not a revolution. It is the path that Gandhi followed his whole life. And we simply follow in the footsteps of the Mahatma. If you're in the technology business, the question is not the magic bullets of technology. It's how will you use those magic bullets. Thank you very much.
ಮುಕ್ತ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ಮುಕ್ತ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ, ಮುಕ್ತ ವಿಷಯಗಳ ಲಭ್ಯತೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ 21ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ವಿಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಮತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಲೂ ಟ್ವಿಟರ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ತುಂಬ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಲಮದ್ದು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಿಸ್ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನನ್ನು ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋಂಥ ಏನು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇದೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಂಬಲ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕಾಲ್ ತುಂಬ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಸ್ಪೀಚಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನ್ಲೈಟನಿಂಗ್ ಅಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಆನ್ ಓಪನ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್, ಓಪನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್, ಓಪನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ. Now I would like to request Sri Kollegala Sharma to give his next speech. Sri Kollegala Sharma is a prominent senior science communicator and popular science writer in Canada. Many of us might know Kutuhali and Jana Suddhi podcasts. And I forgot to mention that Carl also invented internet radio. Today we actually are going to talk about podcasting, so he invented that on the internet first. So, formerly, Kollegala Sharma was formerly a chief scientist at CSIR, Central for Technology Research Institute, CFTRI in Mysore. He has authored over 3,500 popular science articles and scripted 200 science radio dramas for All India Radio and community radios. In the past 5 years, he has pioneered a Kannada science podcast, Jana Suddhi, was a finalist for Janani's Breaking Walls competition, producing over 800 episodes with significant reach via WhatsApp and community radios. As a trainer and resource person, he has contributed to science translation, writing, and scripting of science plays. From 2001 to 2023, he has served as the state coordinator for Kutuhali, a science communication program, and he currently edits the monthly Kannada science magazine Kutuhali. He has been honored with the Best Science Communicator Award by the Vision Group on Science and Technology, Government of Karnataka, and the Best Writer Award by the Karnataka Science and Technology Academy Award. Kutuhali magazine ಮತ್ತು ಜಾಣ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲೆಗಳಿಗೆ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮೂಲಕ, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಮೂಲಕ ತಲುಪ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅವರ ಮಾತುಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ 21ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋಣ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಓಂ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ಮಾರಕ ನಿಧಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಳಗದವರಿಗೂ, ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಕುಲಕರ್ಣಿಯವರಿಗೂ, ಕಾಲ್ ಮಲಮುಡ್ಡವರಿಗೂ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಸಭಿಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಗೆಳೆಯರಾದಂಥ ಜಯದೇವ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸರಿನೋ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ I start this. Before coming here, I was very hesitant because I belong to a generation which I call as a Trishanku generation. Trishanku generation mainly because we never fought for independence. We never started building this nation, but we were very, very vocal in criticizing whatever was happening. So we started that. And standing right next to people like Sudhindra Kulkarni, or speaking after Karl Malamud, or our technologist Sam Pitroda, it's very difficult because I still believe, or I remember, in 1983, when I started my career as a telephone operator, it was very difficult to connect Mysore to just Kumbakonam. I have spent 5 nights on those days to connect one call. That was the day we were there. It was later that the RAX came, what Sam Pitroda was mentioning. The idea was, of course, to take technology and science to everyone in India, and this was because Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru believed that science and technology is the only tool that can provide solutions to the problems that India faced and the world faced. In fact, it's so much, science and technology is so much, every scientist that I have come across who speaks about using science and technology for development usually quotes Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and his quotes are so famous. But what I wonder is, a disciple of Gandhi, about whom we were taught that Gandhi is a technology averse person, or who didn't like the technology at that time. And could he think of science and technology as the tool for the development of this nation? And when we look back at that, I'm not going to talk about the Gandhian values and the science and technology in present world or in the future world. That has been discussed threadbare by previous speakers. What I will be talking about is, as the third generation citizen of this country, post-independence, have science and technology to build that future India which Gandhi dreamt about. And Gandhi had specific dreams about India. In 1931, in Chatham House, when he gave a lecture, he outlined what the future India should be. And remember, in 1931, we didn't have these kind of technologies that we have today, neither in health, nor in irrigation, nor in agriculture. We just had, I think, the chemical fertilizers being used in Germany, but otherwise, we didn't have any of those available to any other country in the world. And at that time, Gandhi had spoken about what kind of a India we need. And the 3 core principles that he spoke about were this. It has already been discussed. One is that decentralized villages he wanted. The villages should be Gram Swaraj, if we add another word to that. Villages should be self-sufficient in everything that we do. And of course, the image that he gave, or a metaphor that he used, was the charka. I still feel the charka not as a tool, but as a metaphor, as an image of what we should be doing to the villages. He said, when he was discussing the role of science and technology, he specifically said that we should, whatever we do in future, consider the Antyodaya, 80% of the people who live in villages and who need help from every others. And this was in 1931, when we were only 300 million population. Today we are 120 million population, and in spite of that, we have 120 crores, and again, we still have those 80% people needing science and technology or any help that they can get. And so we have not progressed much. If we take the science and technology or other progress that we have made, we still have a lot to do to make our villages independent, make our villages self-sufficient. And like Carl said, in this area of technology, decentralization is very important. Whenever I go around Mysore, I see a picture of families on the roadside. These are blacksmiths, Kammaru. They sell knives, katti, kudgolu, and other agricultural implements, and they make it on the roadside. When I see that, there is a contrast in the enterprise. They come from villages to urban areas and they want to sell their ware here. Could they not have done it by sitting in their villages? Could we not provide in this technology's day a means for them to do that from their houses? This is one question. The second question is, I see them using, like Sam Pitroda said, we wanted to take technology to the rural areas. They use a solar panel on their whatever, wherever they are. A solar panel will be there and they'll be using electricity produced by this solar panel. Fantastic technology, the future technology. But then for what do they use that? They use that technology to power their mobile phones, not for the core activity that they are doing. And this is what surprises me. Could we not have provided a means for them to do whatever they are good at? The smithy work, Kammaran kelsa ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ, to run their furnace, a technology which is portable. And if that could have happened, the Gandhi's vision of providing tools to this 80% population that gives them an occupation in their places and retains the character of Indian villages as it is would have been realized. But that has not happened. Similarly, the other vision that Gandhiji had was about education. And education is something that many of us discuss very frequently because it forms the, I should say, the steps on which we can reach out to a higher level. And in this education, he says, we want education for everyone, a school in every village, a headmaster in every village. We now have all those things. But he also said that this education should not be costly. But so we have schools in every village, but not affordable education to everyone. So this is something that worries. And this development is recent. When I was young, when people started using Gandhi as a derogatory term, we had free education. But today, when I have to send my children to school, I have to really pay high. And if you do a survey around the villages, almost 30 to 40% of their earnings are spent on children's education. And this is something that we need to be very cautious about. How can we use science and technology to provide education to all equally? And it's not difficult. I was discussing with Carl, and we have open source technology. We have distributed networks which we can use. We have tried during COVID online teaching methods. We only have to tweak a little bit, make ourselves comfortable with the technology, and use that to reach even those unreached. And that is something that I look forward in the future, so that a person in a village like Nagar, it's a tremendous work, but that is only one pocket. Can we have similar exercises or similar systems throughout the country where everybody will have a good education? We need Jaydevs everywhere, not just one place. Or we don't need Jaydev, the system should take care of it. So this is what, can technology help? Technology can definitely help. This is what we need. For if you want an example, the other one is the solar lighting that we talked about. Selco is a NGO, which provided solar lighting to several villages so that the electrification became easier. My issue is, we provide this, but what Gandhi wanted was, besides providing these tools, we should also make the people self-reliant in developing the tools, the products, and sell them. That we are not doing. So the technology over the past 30-40 years, as I have seen, has helped the urban areas to develop, has made the rural areas look towards the urban areas for everything, from toothbrush to even now the mats that we sleep on. I'm not talking about cots, mats, plastic mats. And we are also importing the problems of urban pollution to villages through this. So can we not reverse this? If you go to Mysore, early morning 9 to maybe 7 to 9 o'clock, you will see a huge traffic from outside Mysore into the city. And these are people coming to city looking for a daily occupation. So they are not regular, wage earners. They come here, they stand in, there are several places in Mysore where they stand and look for someone to give them a job for that day. That's one of the pictures that you get in the cities. Can we not stop this traffic? The technology is there. There are several technologies that we have. Let's take e-commerce, for example. E-commerce could be leveraged very well to take the rural technology to the urban areas. There have been efforts for doing that, but the rural products also have to match the versatility of the urban large-scale products. So in that, the future, the technologists, the engineers and scientists should be looking at. Have we not done something like this? One example that comes to my mind is from CFTRA, where we did this long back, and of course I didn't do it, the previous generation did it. So they developed small tools that could be used in rural areas or in different places for a distributed production of, for example, lichet puppet or the environmental friendly leaf plates. These were small devices which were taken up by lakhs of people and were used across India. And this is what I think Gandhi had in his mind. And even in internet age, we can have technologies. We have some technologies, like there are call centers which are cheating people in some village areas, not in urban areas. But that is not what we want. We want call centers that provide information, education to the rural areas in their place, in their language, and what they need. And I think, saying this, I say that Gandhi is being discussed today, even after 90 years, which means that he will be relevant always. His values are eternal. But then how do we match those values by our actions? That's where I think we have to think, brood, introspect, and act. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for beautifully articulating how we should be adopting technology in this era. With 120 million population, how decentralization can actually make an impact with respect to the need for technology, use of technology, and how we can actually continue to dream about Gram Swaraj. So, 120 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಜನರಿರುವ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಂಧಿ ವಿಕೇಂದ್ರೀಕರಣದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಮ ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ನೀಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಗಾಲ ಶರ್ಮಾ ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ನ ಈ ಗೋಷ್ಠಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೋಷ್ಠಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿಬಂದಂತಹ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪದಗಳೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ಯ, ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಉಪಯೋಗ, ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ಯ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತು ಮುಕ್ತ ತಂತ್ರಾಂಶ, ಮುಕ್ತ ಜ್ಞಾನ, ಈ ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಮಂಥನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಮಂಡಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಸುಧೀಂದ್ರ ಕುಲಕರ್ಣಿ ಅವರು ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ಗಳೇನಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಅವರು ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ ವೀಲ್, ಚರಕದಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ನವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅದನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ನಂತರ ಸ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪಿಟ್ರೋಡ ಅವರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಉತ್ತಮ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಗ್ರಾಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ತಲುಪಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಹೇಗೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಗಾಂಧಿಯ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಳನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಗಾಂಧಿ ಭವನದಲ್ಲೇ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಲೈನ್. ಅದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಕ್ತ ತಂತ್ರಾಂಶ ಅಥವಾ ಮುಕ್ತ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯಾಗಿಯೂ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಮಾತುಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಗಾಲ ಶರ್ಮಾ ಅವರು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಮೂಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ತಲುಪಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ಮಾರಕ ನಿಧಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ನೌ ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟೋಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಉಮೇಶ್ ಬಾಳ್ಗಾರ್, member of Gandhi Smaraka Nidhi, to present the memento to Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Sanjay Singha, Secretary, Gandhi Smaraka Nidhi, Delhi, to present the memento to Mr. Karl Malamat. Dr. Sanjay Singha, Secretary, Gandhi Smaraka Nidhi, Delhi. ಇವರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಲಮದ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ memento ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Thank you, sir. Now I request Sri Senthil Kumar, Trustee, Tamil Nadu Gandhi Smaraka Nidhi, to present the memento to Mr. Kollegala Sharma. For all the viewers online, so this event is being broadcasted live on Book Brahma, Facebook, as well as Gandhi Bhavan Facebook and YouTube channels, which is also being streamed on edina.com. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining the session. So now we have a tea break for next 15 minutes, and we will come back here for the next session at 11:45. We'll have dialogue among religions for peace and harmony session.
ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ಸೂಚನೆ, ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಆದ್ಯತೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಗಿವ್ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ ಟು ಎಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡು ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ.
as a soldier, so a soldier of peace. I know the value of discipline and truth.
We have with us Kartikeyan from Telangana state. He's going to present a song about the constructive work of Mahatma Gandhi.
Please take a video, please.
I will tell somebody.
From there.
From there? Okay. You want to take in your phone?
Good morning, everyone. Even this song is also written by my father, G. Muralidhar Rao. Basically, this song explains all constructive works of Gandhi. I hope you people can understand in Telugu. స్ఫూర్తిదాత మన గాంధీ, స్వరాజ్య ప్రదాత గాంధీ. స్ఫూర్తిదాత మన గాంధీ, స్వరాజ్య ప్రదాత గాంధీ. తన జీవితమే సందేశమని ఘనతకెక్కిన మహాత్మా గాంధీ, జగతి కొలిచిన మన గాంధీ. స్ఫూర్తిదాత మన గాంధీ, స్వరాజ్య ప్రదాత గాంధీ. సత్యం అహింస సాధనములుగా, సత్యాగ్రహమే ఆయుధంబుగా. సత్యం అహింస సాధములుగా, సత్యాగ్రహమే ఆయుధంబుగా. సమరం చేసి స్వాతంత్ర్యాన్ని సాధించిన సాధుజీవి. శాంతి మంత్రముతో ఏకం చేసి జనసంద్రంతో ఉద్యమించి జాతిపై చేసే జాగృతి, పరపాలనకు కలిగే నిష్కృతి. స్ఫూర్తిదాత మన గాంధీ, స్వరాజ్య ప్రదాత గాంధీ. స్ఫూర్తిదాత మన గాంధీ, స్వరాజ్య ప్రదాత గాంధీ. ఉప్పును ఉప్పెన చేసిన ఘనుడు, సత్యాగ్రహమును తెలిపిన నరుడు. రాట్న చక్రముతో చేసెను రణము, నూలు పోగుతో సలిపెను పోరు. స్వదేశీయతకు నిత్య చేయూత, కద్దెరను ఉద్ధరించిన నేత. పరమత సహనపు ఆవిష్కర్త, అందరొకటన్న సంఘ సంస్కర్త. ಅರ್ಥ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿದಾತ ಮನ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ಯ ಪ್ರದಾತ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಮತ್ತು పానీయ మొదన్న గురుడు మహిళల శక్తిని ఎరిగిన విపుడు స్వచ్ఛ భారత్కు నడుము బిగించి పరిశుభ్రతకు పరిశ్రమించిన గ్రామ స్వరాజ్యమే గమ్యమని సర్వోదయమే సకల హితమని సత్యశోధనకు క్షోభను కూర్చి అవనిన యుద్ధ రీతిని మార్చిన స్ఫూర్తిదాత మన గాంధీ స్వరాజ్య ప్రదాత గాంధీ తన జీవితమే సందేశమని జగతికెక్కిన మహాత్మా గాంధీ జగతి కొలిచిన మన గాంధీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, Karthikeyan. We will now commence our session. Eldrigu namaskara. I would like to welcome you all to our next session for today. Dialogue among religions for peace and harmony. I would first like to welcome all our speakers to the stage. Swami Nityastanandaji, President of Ramakrishna Mutt, Bengaluru. Swamiji, request you to kindly come to the stage. Our next speaker, Archbishop Reverend Felix Machado, Archbishop of Vasai. Sir, request you kindly to come to the stage. And we have with us Dr. Kezvino Aram, President, Shanti Ashram and co-moderator, Religions for Peace. Madam, kindly come to the stage. Our first speaker for today, Pujya Swami Nityastanandaji, is the esteemed President of Ramakrishna Mutt, Bengaluru. As a prominent spiritual leader, he plays a crucial role in guiding and inspiring the community through the teachings and practices of the Ramakrishna order. Known for his deep spiritual insight and commitment to humanitarian and educational initiatives, Swami Nityastanandaji has significantly contributed to the growth and development of Mutt's program and outreach. His leadership continues to foster spiritual growth and service-oriented activities, making a meaningful impact on the lives of many. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಿತ್ಯಸ್ಥಾನಂದಜಿ ಅವರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಠದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಆಳವಾದ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಒಳನೋಟ ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾನವೀಯ ಮತ್ತು ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಹಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಅನೇಕರ ಜೀವನದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರಿದೆ. ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಟು ಡೆಲಿವರ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್.
ಓಂ ಸಹನಾ ಭವತು ಸಹನೌ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. All the dignitaries gathered here and friends, as you all know, Mahatma Gandhi's life and message prominently reflect two important ideas. One is Satya another is ahimsa. It's all very obvious to all of us. Satya represents the moral integrity, morality as a whole. Without the basic truthfulness, Satya, morality cannot be practiced of its various dimensions. And ahimsa, non-violence, basically represents the humanity, humane consideration. These are the most important points. One is the moral integrity, morality, and humanity. And as you all know, Mahatma Gandhi was also deeply spiritual, though he was involved in politics. So spirituality also consists one of the important component of his life. These are the most essential aspects of religion, as we all know. One is spirituality, another is morality, another is humanity. And spirituality constitutes the basic foundation of religion. Without spirituality, morality also cannot sustain. And without spirituality and morality, the humanity also cannot sustain. So these are the most important. If you hold on to these three most important aspects of religion, and there is no doubt religious harmony is assured. There are other aspects of religion are there. There are temples are there, rituals are there, different modes of worships are there, books are there, so many festivals are there, so many things are there, rituals are there, so many things, many things are there. As Swami Vivekananda says, these are all the secondary details of religion. Religion is realization, the spirituality. Religion is the manifestation of divinity, as Swami Vivekananda puts it. The spiritual aspect must be emphasized. When we are able to emphasize the spiritual aspect, there will be completely, without any doubt, religious harmony can be assured. That is the basic. If the spirituality is completely lost, and morality also cannot sustain. If you take up an example to illustrate this one, a tree is there. Tree consists of the roots also, and the trunk also, and also flowers and fruits and all that. And around the tree, huge tree, there will be so many thorny bushes should be there, creepers should be there, so many other things should be there. So religion constitutes the root of the religious tree. Root of the religious tree. And the trunk and other branches constitute the morality of the religious tree. And fruits and flowers constitute the humanity. Without that humanitarian consideration, religion has no value at all. So this is the important. And other things are there, all the creepers and thorny bushes and so many other things are there. They constitute the secondary details of religion. What we make mistake, we give so much of importance to secondary details of religion. That becomes the important aspect of religion. You hold on to that so doggedly. And because of that, so much of communal disharmony takes place. What is important is you have to hold on to the spiritual aspect of it and morality aspect of it. If you take Sri Ramakrishna's example, Sri Ramakrishna practiced all the different religions, all the different sects of the Hinduism, and different religions also he practiced. And after practicing all these different denominations, Then he come to the conclusion that all the religions, all the different denominations of religion, all the practices of religion lead to the one and the same goal, that is ultimate reality, God. What is important is Vyakulata, he says. Vyakulata, yearning for God. The spiritual aspiration, deep spiritual aspiration is most important. When that is there, then everything is okay. Everybody can reach that ultimate goal. So this is from Sri Ramakrishna's idea. Sri Ramakrishna was like, most ambitious mountaineer. The mountain is there. Climbing the mountain in one direction, he reaches the zenith of the mountain, peak of the mountain. And he is not satisfied with that. He wants to climb the mountain in other directions also, some other directions also, in the difficult path also. He wants to climb that mountain. And in the bottom level, there will be so much of differences would be there in the as far as the path towards the summit of the mountain is concerned. When person reaches the closer to the summit, then what happens, everybody went closer and closer and closer. And after reaching the summit, everybody becomes one. That is oneness. This oneness is most important. Every path of every religious path, every spiritual path, according to Sri Ramakrishna, is the path towards that ultimate reality. So we have to have that spiritual aspiration. When we have that spiritual aspirations and moral considerations, etc., and humanitarian consideration, etc., then only we will be able to attain the peace and harmony among the religion. Sri Swami Vivekananda is, used to say, so much of good is also done through religion. So much of humanitarian activities are done. Any service activities you see, it is always somehow or the other related to some religious personality. And at the same time, in the name of religion, so much of bloodshed also is done. So much of violence also is done. In the name of religion, in the name of compassionate God. It's still going on also. Unless we hold on to the spirituality and this is essential aspect of this spiritual life, religious life, that is spirituality, morality and humanity, these communal violences cannot be stopped. Because we are more interested in the peripheral aspect of the religion only. The secondary details of the religions only. In secondary details, there will be differences. Is very obvious. It cannot be avoided at all. So, because of the differences, naturally there will be conflict within. So that is why most important aspect of religion we have to hold on to. And if you are able to hold on to that one and pursue our spiritual life, giving more importance to the spiritual insights, spiritual practices, spiritual evolution, then naturally morality will get strengthened. Normally what I was saying, I give the example of the tree. We neglect the root of the tree. We don't manure it properly. We don't water it properly. Then what happens, the tree will collapse. The morality also cannot stand. If morality also goes, the trunk also get weakened, then humanity also will suffer. So that is what if you neglect spirituality in religion, the morality also cannot sustain. If the morality is not there, of course, the result of it. So there will be so much of violence and conflicts, etc. So that is why we have to hold on to spirituality. So Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda and all other great personalities, Mahatma Gandhi, all great personalities are holding on to this spirituality. Even though Mahatma Gandhi was deeply involved in politics, he was deeply spiritual. So that is a message of Mahatma Gandhi. We have to hold on to the spirituality. With the help of the spirituality, with firmly standing on spirituality, then only we can involve ourselves in different kinds of activities related to the different aspects of a human life. So I am very happy to be here, participating in this August assembly and speaking few words on the peace and harmony related to the different religions. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji, for enlightening us on the significance of spirituality, morality, and humanitarian aspects of religion, citing examples from lives of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. I am honored to introduce our next speaker, Archbishop Most Reverend Felix Machado of Vasai. He's a distinguished leader within the Catholic Church. His leadership extends beyond the church as he actively engages in community service, interfaith dialogue, and social development initiatives. His contributions to both the church and the broader community reflect his dedication to promoting peace, understanding, and to charitable work. Archbishop Machado served as Under-Secretary at the Pontifical Council of Interreligious Dialogue at the Vatican. He has been the Archbishop of Vasai since December 2009. In July 2020, he was appointed a member of the Pontifical Society for Interreligious Dialogue by Pope Francis. ವಾಸಾಯ್ನ ಆರ್ಚ್ಬಿಷಪ್ ಪರಮಪೂಜ್ಯ ಫೆಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಚಾಡೋ ಅವರು ಕ್ಯಾಥಲಿಕ್ ಚರ್ಚಿನ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ನಾಯಕರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಚರ್ಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಮುದಾಯ ಸೇವೆ, ಅಂತರ್ಧರ್ಮ ಸಂವಾದ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ನೇತೃತ್ವ ವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I request Reverend Sir to kindly come and deliver his lecture.
Namaste. Dear friends, dear brothers and sisters, I would like to, at the very beginning, lest I forget, express my gratitude for the Mahatma Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, Udayji, Vishkumarji, your team, all your collaborators, but I would especially, since yesterday I observed the active part that the young people here have taken. I would like to take another as a compliment to what Swamiji was saying, the essence of religion. And I move into how religions need to come together, because the fact is, unless there is peace among religions, the world will never see peace. This is a fact. I don't want to go into details, but speak about interreligious dialogue. Interreligious dialogue is basically a network of interpersonal relationships. Dialogue is a heavily loaded Greek word. It talks of philosophy, so therefore I like to use the word relationships. One must learn to relate to the other with respect and esteem for the dignity of the other. Through dialogue, through these relationships, one can enter into the very depth of the lives of people who profess and adhere to their respective religious traditions. Interreligious dialogue is not intended to enter into polemics and debates between religions. It is not even meant to change the essential teachings of religions. it is not a question of cerebral discussion across the table. It is not even negotiations between persons in order to strike the least common denominator. The art of listening intensively to the other plays an important role in interreligious relations. When conflicts, disagreements, or disputes arise among believers of religions, and Swamiji said, as much as good there is also worst that religions are accused of. And so therefore, when such conflicts arise, dialogue remains the only alternative. But dialogue will achieve very little if it has not been initiated during good times, peaceful times. Don't be self-complacent, thinking that, India is very interreligious, we are all brothers, sisters here. No, I think we should never be complacent. But what one can do when these good times are there, peaceful times are there, we have to initiate interreligious dialogue, live in relationships, good relationships of respect and esteem. Because interreligious dialogue is not a fire brigade or an ambulance that you can call when there is an emergency. Too late. I have gone through this in 2006 in Mumbai. Sleepless nights, because I have seen outside the seminary where I was formator of young minds who are trying to become Catholic priests. The whole of Mumbai was in flames, literally. And so that is the time when I was called, where is your interreligious dialogue? I said, it is not an ambulance. We should have been taking care before. And so, cultivating friendly and fraternal relations during good and peaceful times is the best practice. Interreligious dialogue concerns all of us, of every religion. Nobody should be excluded, no one should be left behind. A vast field lies open for us to do dialogue, because sometimes my own friends tell me, you are a little bit more studied, so you can do this. No, I said, everyone can play an important role, because there are different forms and expressions in service of peace, justice, fraternity, and sustainable development. There is the so-called dialogue of life, through which, between different religions, the believers bear gentle and non-imposing witness to their own human and spiritual values before each other in daily life, and help each other concretely to build a more just and fraternal society. There can also be an exchange between experts of their respective religions. Two people, me, let us say from Christianity, Swamiji, from Swami Vivekananda, the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, we would need to meet, and we do on different occasions, to kind of discuss, what do we mean by this? What is the real meaning? How should we live? Swamiji was very well giving that in short speech. He gave us the essence. Then there is dialogue of cooperation for integral development of every human person and all people. This is much needed. This dialogue can be done by so many of us, and safeguarding religious values and patrimony of all, which can be put at the service of caring for our planet. Pope Francis calls it our home. thereby achieving integral development of each person and all people. There is also dialogue in which believers of different religions share their deeper spiritual experiences and enrich the religious patrimony, for example, of our Mother India. Mahatma Gandhi may not have done a formal interreligious dialogue, but nonetheless, for me, even though I am a post-independent child of India, Mother India, but Mahatma Gandhi has sustained me till today in much of my spirituality. The theme of peace is central to all religions. This is why Mahatma Gandhi undertook the task of making every effort to make humanity one family of God in which all people live in harmony and peace. This is not utopia for me. I have seen over the years, I myself have grown in my relationships. I call her Akka. She is younger than me, but she is my Akka. In public, I have called her Akka. Sudhin Kulkarni this morning, he is my brother, not only a friend. And I mean this. We live like that. We share when difficult moments come and go ahead, not for ourselves, but for all of us, for the whole world. And so one family of God. This is what Mahatma Gandhi wished. He saw the theme of peace in a wider context of the problems in the world. For example, the dehumanizing poverty. He was moved, he was compassionate. Exploitation of weaker people in society, like children, women, especially those who are victims of war, of broken families, and of abuse. There is ecological disaster, discrimination on the basis of caste and religious affinity, oppression of minorities, problems related to disillusioned youth, unequal distribution of the world's resources, and one can go on and on and on. Mahatma Gandhi, I would like to come to the theme that is given to me. What has it got to do with 21st century? I loved all the sessions since yesterday, since the inauguration of the program. I particularly liked also this previous session we had because, yes, what is Mahatma Gandhi's relevance to not only today but future? Mahatma Gandhi always dreamt of peace in the hearts of people, peace among people, and peace for our country so that it can be light to the nations. Yes, we want to become Vishwa Guru, but let's not be pretentious. Others must call us Vishwa Guru. We cannot impose them ourselves as Vishwa Gurus. And so Gandhiji was not a wishful thinker, but his feet were grounded in the grassroots of reality. Mahatma Gandhi left a legacy of peace for the future generations because peace is not built in one instant, but everyone is challenged to keep on building it and without abandoning it in the face of difficulties, always beginning anew. Dear sisters and brothers, the progress of the nation, any nation in the world, cannot be measured by the number of nuclear weapons it has in stockpiles. The real criteria of success are to be seen in the miserable and destitute who are still above the poverty, below poverty line. We see increasing literacy among all sections of society. but eradicating child marriages and reducing child deaths, stopping completely the starvation deaths, improving the condition of women, constantly making our democracy strong and robust. This is how we will find out the health and success of our nation, Mother India. Indian constitutional setup has withstood the complications that an independent democratic society with diverse castes, linguistic groups, and religious communities faces. This is thanks to the Mahatma. He taught me, saying that religion cannot be separated from politics and politics cannot be separated from religion. Because if anyone who does that knows neither religion nor politics. So India succeeded, unlike its neighbors, for example, in bringing substantial democracy to its polity as opposed to other nations where only procedural democracy was established. Indian society has faithfully imbibed the democratic spirit of its constitutional order. Independent India has built successful, robust welfare delivery mechanisms such as the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee a scheme and the public distribution system, constituted affirmative action program to overcome historical inequalities of the caste system of the Indian subcontinent, succeeded in the partial devolution of governance to local institutions such as the Panchayat Raj systems, given economic freedom to the masses with free trade. I come from a little place, Vasai, where cooperatives are the biggest strength of our people, in which all religions, people of all religions are involved, of all castes, of all color and language are involved. Obviously, as I end, I must say, new challenges await India. For example, widening economic inequality, religious caste-based identity, polarization, corruption, and subsequent apathy among the youth towards our democratic values. And there are many other things. Mahatma Ji can still inspire peace. He is an inspiration for me. He did in his time what was needed to be done. He said what was to be said. Where am I? What am I saying? What am I doing? That is the self-examination I have. Harmony and parity will come if we reframe our national ethos to replace the culture of silence with a culture of transparency, the culture of hatred and discrimination with the culture of dialogue and respect, the culture of violence with the culture of peace, and the culture of exclusion with the culture of inclusion of those who have been still left behind. Even the 21st century, in this century, peace in the world has been threatened by the same old forces which generate conflicts and wars. Sadly, India is not exempt from these. Among these forces are intolerance and marginalization of all kinds. Social marginalization, cultural, political, as well as religious. Day by day, fresh violence is inflicted upon individuals and even peoples, and the cultures of death spread by unjustifiable resource to violence to resolve tensions. While it is an innovation to be welcomed, we cannot ignore the potential danger of artificial intelligence which can deteriorate the situation still further. Mark my words, I don't want to enter any controversy. I fully agree with the speakers of the previous session and the applause that the audience gave. Artificial intelligence is a welcome thing that we need. But we cannot ignore the potential dangers, such as even as internet. We have said enough on this, quoting Mahatma Ji, that Mahatma Gandhi, was for science, was for technology, but not for the abuse of science and technology. And what I said is quoted by M.K. Narayanan, who was former Director of Intelligence Bureau and former National Security Advisor and former Governor of West Bengal. This is what I quote him: awareness of the growing danger of digital threats is but the first step. Awareness is the first step in the battle of cyber and artificial intelligence directed threats. There is hence every need to counter digital surveillance, disillusionment, bullying, and manipulation for our survival. Given the appalling situation of wars and conflict in so many parts of the world, the memory of Mahatma Gandhi stands as light and guiding star, who deeply involved in international and interreligious efforts to bring about peace, justice, and reconciliation. Before World War II, wherever he could, he made efforts. He even came to Rome, saw Mussolini. He wanted to see the Pope. Unfortunately, for reasons that I know, he could not meet the Holy Father, because Gandhiji had come from Round Table Conference in London on his way to take a ship from Genoa, Italy, to go to India. He had only one day. And in one day, unannounced, he appears. But he never felt bitter or sad for what happened. But my point is this: he wanted to see every political leader, he wanted to see every religious leader and convince them that the path the West was taking, path of weapons and war, will not be only destroying the people of that time, but it will be precedence for world to kind of go on the path of violence. He wanted to stop that, and that is why I say that he is a guiding star, he is the light. He continued to insist on the negotiated and non-military resolution of conflicts and looked for the day when nations will abandon war as a way of vindicating claims, as a means of resolving differences. Mahatma Gandhi was convinced that war creates more problems than it ever resolves, that dialogue is the only just and noble path to mutual agreement and reconciliation, and that patient and wise art of peacemaking is especially blessed by God Almighty. And I end by this: to achieve this, we must never lose sight of the human person. The human person, the people, are the center of everybody. Politicians, religious leaders, everybody. The person who must be the center of every social project. This is the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, who proposed the path of building a world community based on mutual trust, mutual support, and sincere mutual respect. Jai Hind, Jai Jagat. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Father, for sharing with us the importance of interreligious dialogue, especially at times of peace, to ensure relationship is strengthened in daily lives, and relating to Mahatma Gandhi from his own life experiences. I'm delighted to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Kezivino Aram. She is the president of Shanti Ashram, Coimbatore, and is a co-moderator of Religions for Peace. With a deep commitment to fostering interfaith dialogue and social justice, Dr. Aram has been instrumental in advancing the mission of Shanti Ashram, an organization dedicated to empowering marginalized communities and promoting peace. Her leadership in this role is focused on addressing the needs of the underserved and facilitating transformative social change. In her capacity as co-moderator for Religions for Peace, Dr. Aram collaborates with diverse religious and spiritual leaders from around the globe. Together, they work to tackle pressing global issues and build bridges of understanding among different faiths. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೆಸಿವಿನೋ ಆರಂ ಅವರು ಕೊಯಂಬತ್ತೂರಿನ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಆಶ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ರಿಲಿಜನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಎನ್ನುವ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಸಹ ಮಾಡರೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಾದ್ಯಂತ ವಿವಿಧ ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ನಾಯಕರೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸಂವಾದ ನಡೆಸಲು ಸಹಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಐ ನೌ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆರಂ ಟು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾದರಿಂಗ್.
I've been sitting since morning, witness to the leaders of the next generation. Please join me in acknowledging Pavan and Ashutosh who are here. And Pavan and Ashutosh, thank you. Thank you for being the witness. And Dr. Kulkarni, thank you for being their mentor. I was so moved to hear that you're mentoring children in the spinning of the... Nalla, you can clap your hands loudly for the next generation with your heart and with your hands. You know why I say this? Because it reminded me of my childhood in Nagaland. When I was being introduced as Kezivino Aram, Kezivino is a Naga name, a name that my parents gave me in the midst of their work in the Nagaland peace movement. And there, many, many times, it was not sitting in the table hearing what was happening, but it was being in the vicinity of some wonderful leaders that the Gandhian movement gave this country. Jay Prakash Narayan, Vinoba Bhave, Shobana Tai, so many people were there, and there was always the place for a child. So will you again please clap your hands and bless Pavan and Ashutosh? They are absorbing what we are doing, and they will carry forward not just what we say, but they will carry forward, I am sure, what we do, what we aspire for this wonderful nation. I'm very grateful, Dr. Krishna, to you and the Karnataka Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, to you, Rahi Saab, and the wonderful team at the National Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, but to Annamalai Anna, I don't know where Anna is sitting, Annamalai Anna, for bringing me back for this gathering of the Sarvodaya Gandhian family. Big round of applause again. It's I think these are moments where celebrations mark coming together. Celebrations creates the time and the space to listen to one another. And therefore, I have only 3 points to add to what Swamiji, Your Grace, you have added. One is from Swami Vivekananda's thought of how the underlying spirituality that religion provides, humanity can be developed. And without that, there will be no order in this society. And when there is no order, violence can prey on these structures that are often unequal. Your Grace, you also spoke to us so beautifully about that generation that was born after independence. In fact, Mr. Sharma, you said, I don't belong to the generation of freedom fighters. I think of myself always as to where do I belong in this Sarvodaya Gandhian family. I don't belong to the generation like you that won independence. I don't belong, Your Grace, to the generation that was born before independence. But I belong to that group of people who are proud to call themselves Indians, who want peace for every brother and sister in this society. Sarva Udaya, the progress of every man and woman as one's own. This is where I want to look around a little bit. Mr. Sam Petroda did that. Professor Kulkarni did that in the morning. I want to look around. 3 or 4 pieces of statistics that will tell you why our meeting, Dr. Krishna, is so important. This year, 2024, the highest and the greatest number of children around the world after World War II are experiencing violence. Violence in the form of hunger, violence in the form of displacement because of conflicts, violence in the way of being separated from their natural settings of being cared for by their families, violence in the form of poverty. And we know, Your Grace, child poverty is very different from adult poverty. The scars of child poverty are irreversible. University after university, whether it is in India, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, or Stanford or Oxford or Harvard, Dr. Krishna, they tell us if a child lives in poverty, the dissonance in the brain continues through life. So there is an incapacitation that happens in childhood that leaves them scarred for their adult life. And therefore, this one piece of statistics compounded by 3 little other pieces of statistics that I may bring to your attention. Highest number of conflicts in the world after World War II has been recorded in 2024. The greatest number of national elections going on in 2024. It means our leaders are preoccupied. They have to come back to power, and so some of these devastating problems may not have their attention. I say this data and this statistic only to remind you how precious this gathering is of coming together, listening together, and resolving, Mr. Sharma, to do more of what we can do ourselves, but also together. And therefore, I go back to Nagaland, that reminded me of looking at Pawan and Ashutosh in a little closer way. I was a young girl growing up there, and in the Nagaland Peace Center, Mr. Menon is here, in the Nagaland Peace Center, just like in Gandhi Bhavan, they had meetings after meetings after meetings as to how people can come together, how the different tribes of Nagaland would come together to decide, Your Grace, not to take it for granted, but to decide whether they were part of India. What was the method that the Gandhian movement chose? Namakrishna Chaudhary, the first Chief Minister of Orissa, Marjorie Sykes, who worked with Mahatma Gandhi on basic education and translated the work of Tagore, or Michael Scott, who represented the Quaker movement from England. They all decided the only way to do it was to respect one another's opinions and to meet and meet and meet till a resolution came. Just like Gandhi Bhavan is next to this seat of power, the Nagaland Peace Center had a hotline to the Prime Minister's office and a hotline to the heart of the Chief Minister of Nagaland. After 20 long years of hard work, Swamiji, after 20 long years of hard work, the Nagaland Peace Accord was signed. Still the lasting peace accord that the Naga people recognize as their own. And you can give them a big round of applause because it did not come out of more violence. It came out of repeated conversations and mutual respect. But I saw one more thing. Annamalai Anna has an exhibition downstairs, and you will see the work of the Gandhian movement in Nagaland. And I always proudly carry my Naga name. It means peace be with you. Keze means peace be with you. I carried that because as a young girl like Pawan and Ashutosh, I saw that peace can be won. And peace can be won non-violently, not to be read only in the books, but to be seen. Many years later, Rahi Sahab, I had the honor of being the chief consultant on behalf of the UN to do the Human Development Report, the first ever Human Development Report for Nagaland. And when I was asked to find a thread for it, I said, peace building will be the main focus of this Human Development Report that looks at the Human Development Index that Professor Amartya Sen and Mahbubul Haq said. But I will not forget again the moment when I was in the Nagaland Assembly. I was not introduced as a Harvard graduate. I was not introduced, Dr. Kulkarni, as a doctor and a public health expert. I was not introduced even as the chief editor of the Human Development Report. You know how I was introduced? I was introduced as a second generation peacemaker, because I was writing the story of the people. I hope together, when we meet, we remember the legacy continues in each one of us. And therefore, as Swamiji says, that humanity will only be realized or lived or believed in if we see ourselves as part of the tradition. In Professor Kulkarni's session, we said Gandhiji was open. He would praise when praise was required, and he would reprimand when reprimand was required. Let that be the culture that we have. And therefore, I echo the gratitude of Swamiji and of Archbishop Machado to you, Dr. Krishna, that half this audience are young people. They will know, like we knew as young people, that peace is possible. And that dialogue that Archbishop Machado spoke about, the different ways we can dialogue, the dialogue of the mind, the dialogue of life, the dialogue of working together. I just want to draw 3 examples that I often remind young people are gifts of Mahatma Gandhi and his generation in finding not just metaphors, but finding very simple symbols of interreligious harmony. The Sarva Dharma Prarthana. The interreligious prayer was in many ways a research, a finding, a discovery of Mahatma Gandhi's generation. That when people of faith come together, Swamiji, when faith is central to their life, can we in respect, in accord, pray besides each other? To every young person here, I know 25,000 of you are there in the different campuses, may you remember, this is a symbolic representation, but a meaningful testimony every day that India is home to the greatest number of religions in the world. Not only that, it is a living testimony that religions can coexist in peace. To every young person, that is the badge of honor that you want to take. Not to be told you don't have a place here, but to be told we all call it our home. The other beautiful symbol of the Sarvodaya Gandhian family, Annamalai Anna, I know Sendil Anna is somewhere here, is something that required no degrees. But it required a tremendous search within your heart, which is Shramadan. I have seen leaders after leaders together cleaning their premises. At Shanti Ashram, I must say one of my favorite moments, Dr. Krishna, is every Friday with my staff to clean for 30 minutes together our campus, where about 100,000 children come every year. This Shramadan was deeply understood by Mahatma Gandhi, that in an unequal society, in a stratified society, by gender and by caste, something had to bring us together. And we do it every time. We do it every time because boundaries break, humility augments, and that little ego that comes up is always told everybody has to be part of the story. This is the second example from the Sarvodaya Gandhi family. If this is one thing that we can bring back, it will bring intergenerational dialogue in a very different way. We don't have to be scanning. We don't have to be spinning. We will actually be building bridges between hearts, because a young child will see we can go and talk when there are informal moments together. And the third thing, Your Grace, that I'm very fond of in the Sarvodaya Gandhian family is this sense of mentoring and care. When my mother, as a young mother, had 2 children within a gap of 3 years in Nagaland, Shobana Tai, who was part, Annamalena, you shared the news of her passing away. Shobana Tai was in Digboy at that time. Her husband was part of the petroleum industry. She came and she said, come along, Minoti, come and rest in my house. I saw that in my mother's generation. They would ask people to come and rest in their homes. The homes need not be big. Today, I see 99-year-old Krishnamalamma in Gandhigram, Krishnama Jagannathan, saying, Vinu, come when you feel your head and your heart is walking too fast. May all Gandhian organizations, including this wonderful Gandhi Smarak Nidhi in Karnataka, be that safe space where we can experience what Subramanya Bharati, the famous poet from Tamil Nadu, said, Periya Kudumbam, the Vasudeva Kudumbakam that we speak. The Gandhian movement lived it. There are 3 very simple things that I have said. Standing beside each other in prayer, finding 30 to 40 minutes a week, not every day, a week, to clear the place that you do. The old forms of discrimination still exist. Caste, gender, or else why would we see rape going on like this? Why else will we see the poor being invisible in great and big moments, not just being called Vishwaguru, but when big leaders come, pushing our poor to the periphery. But there are new forms, Dr. Krishna Rahi Sahab, of discrimination. Exclusion is valued more than inclusion. There are new forms. Where you study, what you drive, who you work with, which language you speak. In all this eternal example of Gandhiji matters. So what I want to present to you, just as 2 closing thoughts, is that peace in all its dimensions is something that the Gandhian movement can give to the world. Personal peace, Swamiji, that you spoke about, which is inseparable from the moral compass, the ethos, the ethics of a person, but also the bigger picture that Gandhiji spoke about. Beautifully he said, and I read it in my father's book, The Apostle of Peace, Gandhiji says, if one person rises spiritually, the entire society stands to gain. And if one person falls, society must believe they are falling with him or her. That imminent, that deep sense of connectivity is what technology can re-energize in a deeper way. We don't have to be afraid of technology. Good news can spread, good things can spread. But to all young people, I want to say one more thing that Gandhiji said. And it is in my office, I have it in front of me in the health center, in the Children's Health Center that we have, the International Center. What you do today will determine your tomorrow. That was the magic of Mahatma Gandhi. That was the magic of his generation. Every leader that I met along in my father's generation were preoccupied by bringing their talent into fruition for the well-being of people, Your Grace, as you said. Let's do something. They were never analyzing. They analyzed to do something. Rahi Sahab, that's something that I hope we can give our younger people. At a time when universities in India, Your Grace, Professor Kulkarni, Dr. Krishna, I'm so happy they're giving time to young people in Maharashtra. 1 month in a year, they're going back for field work. I know, Dr. Krishna, in your institution, how you bring children into NSS. Let Gandhian institutions be that societal laboratory where they can come back and study and do more. That bias of Gandhiji's generation, of the Sarvodaya Gandhian family, not to gaze at a problem, but to understand it, own it, and solve it together. May that be our closing thought. When you walk across from Annamalai Anna's National Museum, there is the Rajghat. May every Indian, young or old, doesn't matter, man or woman doesn't matter, whether you speak Bengali or Hindi, it shouldn't matter. When they walk in, let them look to the right, Annamalai Anna, where the talisman is written. May we make it our own. May we make it our own. That every time we do something, Every time we do something, we recall the face of the last and the least. That's the talisman. But the words after moves me even more. It was a personal calling to every Indian, in fact, to every citizen of the world. He says, think whether what you are going to do will change the life of the last and the least a little better. Will it ease their life a little better? So on this wonderful day when we are celebrating 75 years of the Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, which had illustrious leaders, beginning with the President of India and the Prime Minister, and the legacy of illustrious leaders now in front of us who have taken the time to bring us together as a family, may we always remember this talisman begins with us. That each of us who are empowered with love, with knowledge, with leadership, with the power to serve, may we always ask us, is this something that will make our society better? And in the words of D.K. Pattamal, a language that my father called his own Tamil, but I learned Tamil only as 11, 12-year-old. Vinoba ji made a request to my parents, since my mother was Bengali. She came from the Gandhian movement, mentored by Marjorie Sykes, and my father was Tamil. Vinoba ji called my mother and said, Minoti, Aram, you have to speak a common language so that you can work and serve anywhere in India. Please teach the children Hindi. And they will learn their father's and their mother's language because they have loving grandparents. This also was an expression of the leaders of that time, creating practical skills to do. But when I came back to Tamil Nadu, I discovered Bharati, I discovered Carnatic music as well. And the song that resonated on All India Radio when Gandhiji took his last breath is the song, the two lines from the song that I want to leave you with. To the younger people and to the wonderful leaders in the first 3-4 rows, may we always remember that cry for peace, that call for peace and active peace building that can only truly be built if we speak. I don't even use the word dialogue. We speak to one another. We listen, as Archbishop Machado said, to each other deeply. Archbishop Machado taught me one day in Rome, deep listening is the beginning of healing, he told me. He's my teacher. He calls me Akka, but he's my teacher. I hope you will, yes. I hope you will hear in these words the continuing vision, not just of Gandhiji, but in that sacred line of saints to whom and to which Swami Vivekananda also belonged. Shanti nilava vendum, ulagil shanti nilava vendum, Atma Shakti Onga Vendum, Ulagile Shanti Nilava Vendum, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Doctor, for speaking so beautifully about the peace process you witnessed in Nagaland and for addressing the young people about Mahatma Gandhi's symbols of interreligious peace, Sarv Dharma Prarthana, Shramadan, and caring and mentoring. Thank you so much. We could now present the mementos to our speakers. I would like to call upon Shri H.B. Dinesh, Treasurer, Karnataka Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, to please come and present the memento to Swamiji. Thank you so much, Dinesh ji. I would now request Professor Shivraj, Director, Karnataka Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, to please come and present the memento to Archbishop. Thank you, Shivraj sir. I would request Dr. Abida Begum, member Karnataka Gandhi Smarak Nidhi, to kindly come over and present the memento to Dr. Kesavino Aram. Just a Okay. Okay.
Can I ask Ashutosh to join?
Yes. Okay, Abida is coming, but I would also request Ashutosh and Pawan to kindly come. Abida, when.
Please give this next generation a big round of applause.
Thank you, Abida.
Will you join us for a group photo as well? Swamiji is also there. Please come up here.
Just one wish.
Swamiji, will you join us too? We're ready for it.
One minute.
We'll take a picture together. This is rare.
ಬನ್ನಿ ಶಾರದಾ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಸಂದಿಲ್ಲ
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank Abida also.